What's good, guys? Cogs and gears everywhere.
Cogs and gears everywhere.
Yep. Turning the system of the world. All right, we're systems. My name's Seige. To the left of me, I got.
Hey, what up? My name is Crow.
To the left of him, I got.
I'm Phantom.
And we're just some guys that's about to spin in this life, and we're about to talk to you. So, guys, what's the topics that we got for today?
Okay. Very quickly.
Okay.
Elon. Very quick. We won't get
Elon Musk.
because we will want a whole episode on like
Controversial
people,
figures.
Yeah, controversial figures you respect. Because I think Ethan has Andrew Tate. Right. I have Elon Musk. I don't know what you two niggas have, but
I don't know. The closest for me is that I like Kanye's music, but I don't really like.
Kanye.
Yeah, I mean, like he does shit I don't really respect, so I wouldn't count that.
Such like what? What's a good example?
Well, first of all,
He said something about Jews.
yeah, in terms of.
But here's the thing, though. Did you go in and research what he meant
Well,
when he said that?
So I know where he was coming from with some of it, and I was like, okay, if you worded it better, then sure.
Yeah.
But then he did the swastika Star of David, and I was like, okay.
He did that on
And
purpose.
then he was like, why do we hate Hitler? No, the Nazis did good stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna be
honest.
from that.
I can respect him trying to push the boundaries. Like when he wore that No Lives Matter shirt,
Yep.
right? I respect him pushing the boundaries on shit. Like really do a discussion on it. You know, don't just join a movement because it's a movement. I can respect that, and then what he's trying to put out there. But let's I feel like when someone genocides someone, like a species, we leave it be a little bit.
Let me tell you something about that. Me being a light skin, you two having a percentage of white in you, let me be the first to tell you, bro. This country is so blindsided by certain aspects, and what I mean by that is, take it like this, right? How, if you talk about like the genocide of Uganda, right? How it was black on black, the genocide of Jews in Germany, it was a type of white on white. No, like you know how slavery and everything over here, right? Take a look at this. There was a genocide here that people don't talk about, that everyone knows but doesn't say anything about it. How 98% of Native Americans don't exist in the world.
Oh, yo, that's crazy.
That is
all.
wild.
That's wild. Cause I was like, genocide here, and it took me a while. I was like, what are you talking about?
And that's the part that makes it even worse.
We're so blind.
So, like,
Yeah.
people don't realize you can't go up to any person. I could give you $1,000 for every person you go up to, and they would never be able to tell you at all when the last time they ever met a Native American person.
That's crazy.
It's true. Yeah.
I definitely can't say it.
The Native Americans live in a compact,
The reservations.
They have
grounded.
reserves.
Yeah.
Yeah. That we swept that shit so far under the rug.
So under the
It's
rug.
basically just carpeted over. Like it's not even a rug anymore.
Wow.
You will never meet outside, and I mean rarely, outside of whatever reservations that Native Americans live in, you will never meet a 100% Native American. Ever. You won't do it. You will see I'm 2% Native American, or I'm like 15%.
Yeah.
You'll never meet a
Cherokee in my blood.
Yeah,
Like
you'll
those
never
niggas.
meet a 100%. And I'm proud of when people can say that, sure. But at the same time, you don't know nothing about Native American heritage. It's more of you can gloat and flaunt that piece of history that was erased damn near from this planet.
That is because the thing that's crazy about this, obviously, I feel like comparing tragedies isn't a good thing to do.
Right.
But just for the sake of the conversation, you look at the genocide of Jewish people, like the Holocaust, and it's like it wasn't successful because there's still Jewish people. We damn near killed
That's
killed.
totality, right?
Yeah.
Native American genocide is the only genocide on the planet to actually succeed.
And you know what's crazy? like I don't typically believe in conspiracy theories and shit, right? And
I told you a poltergeist, bro. I swear.
I don't typically believe in conspiracy theorists and shit, but like, I don't know. The fact that that was so true, almost like that's like something. Because I was thinking about it, and when you said that, I was like, man, they didn't just like sweep it under the rug. I feel like what they did is they hid it in plain sight. Yeah, we did this, and then moved on to American history.
Of course, because everyone knows about it happening. You learn it in school. You learn in history class about how Columbus came over, the fights would happen, all kinds of things, but you don't know the full totality. Pocahontas, for example, did you know this? Pocahontas used to be forced to strip naked and do cartwheels for them.
Yeah, was it? And she was like 13 as well, wasn't she? Yeah, that's damn. Because when you look at retrospectively us in school, and it always is posed as like basically most wars where they're like, it was just a disagreement and we happened to win, and it's like, and then you think about it and you're like, no, we just slaughtered those poor people.
Of course,
but they ain't gonna say that.
And let me tell you something right now. America, like, for example, Australia is a hodgepodge collection of every race in the entire world. The difference is, unlike Australia, we were first. So we got all of the...
Australia must have like fucked some aliens or like...
This nigga here.
I'm saying, bro, have you seen a spider from there?
Yeah,
bro?
nigga.
Bro. They have locust storms. You know what the fuck a locust storm is?
Fuck,
that's they blot out the sky.
That is some biblical shit. No.
You're wrong.
I
don't know how you can live there. I'm sorry.
That sounds like one of the great plagues God
befalled
on Egypt. Dog. God damn it!
I saw a picture. It was like just like some woods, and I was like, oh, it's like dewy and like misty or something. Like those are all spider webs. I said, hell no, bro.
Ain't no way.
Fuck
I swear, people talk. I see shit about Australia, and I'm like, bro, that can't be. That's a wasteland. You're in Fallout, bro. What are you doing?
I'll tell you right now.
There's mutants there.
I'll tell you right now. I bet you wouldn't be able to go to Australia, and a 9-year-old would be able to beat your ass.
Absolutely,
you may be right, bro. Bro, that nigga will throw a boomerang. You missed. Crikey. Hit my ass from the back.
Crikey is crazy, bro.
Even the animals that people think are cute from Australia are.
Did you know a kangaroo will beat
your
your ass?
Yeah. Buff as fuck,
a kangaroo will beat your ass.
They're veined out, bro.
Like it's scary.
Like I'm serious. If you look up a kangaroo and you look at its chest, it's veined.
They're fucking scary. Like, and it's like we grow up being like, oh, kangaroos are so adorable, and they would milli rock your ass.
Yeah, bro.
You'd be out.
They will cave your chest in.
Remember that movie with the cute kangaroo who, and there was a song, "Mama's gonna knock you out." I'm gonna knock
Kangaroo
you out.
Jack.
Kangaroo Jack. You remember that? You don't remember that movie?
Oh my god, you're not black enough. I know you're.
No,
not. I know you're.
Apparently not.
I know you're not. There's a live action and cartoon.
When you said "Mama's gonna knock you out," that. Like I feel like I can see it as like a movie trailer in my head.
Mama's gonna knock you out.
But I feel like I haven't seen enough of it to remember the whole thing.
Damn. But I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know about. I genuinely think if someone said to me, "Hey, listen, I got an all expense paid trip, a 5-star hotel."
Yeah.
Loads of, servants. You'll be treated like a king for an entire week. It's just in Australia. I mean, I know. I'll stay here.
Well,
see, the thing is,
here's the thing. I have a friend that lives in Australia, and they tell me all the time, "Oh, you should really move out here." And here's the thing. That's not gonna happen. But here's the thing. Australia as a society on how it lives on this planet is leagues beyond the United States because
they got to band together. They have armies out there. They're fighting against the waves.
Healthcare is free out there.
socially and even economically, they're very well off. And the thing is, so Australia's a huge, it's a continent, but they only live on like 3 corners of it, because the rest of it is unlivable.
Everything else in there is the outback.
I like how beautifully we segued from genocide to living
I was
natural.
I was about
too.
to
It
I
flowed.
was about to ease back up into it. It was going to be a crazy play, but you already brought it to attention, so
sorry,
now I'm going to go straight up into that.
I was sportscasting, and I was just like, "Did you see that transition?"
Okay, so it's actually hardening to actually think about as a concept of about what happened to the Native Americans, because that could have happened to anybody. Anybody. I'm gonna tell you right now. In this day and age, you have found out this year alone. You have found out many things. For example, about Black people, like how I remember how it was a whole thing. Oh my God, Medusa was actually just a Black woman. There were so many untold things that you had to find out, or that was recently getting shared about Black people as a race, different races in general. Funny thing, how a Black person will argue and call, like, for example, a white person racist, right?
Right.
Because, white people were the ones who enslaved Blacks,
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I bet you didn't know. That was Spain's fault.
Spaniards.
Yeah, because didn't they sell?
They sold us out.
Yeah.
Because
They made it. They made a merchant. They made a business out of it. They put us everywhere.
Well, that don't make it better.
Well, I'm not saying they made it better, but I'm saying that's why.
Spain was kind of like the original Britain.
Yes, it was, because this is actually what happened. Okay, take it as the king of Nigeria in that time period. Remembering exactly which period is very hard. It's not actually. It's not in the records. But you take that current king of Nigeria, who sent out soldiers throughout the world. Imagine what Britain did when it went to these lands for the Native Americans, where it went to Africa. We'll get to that later. It went to Asia, Mexico, enslaved people, try going over. Imagine that, but did correctly. That's what we as Black people did. We went around. We conquered Rome twice.
We conquered Rome?
And it was a woman who was the one in charge. Twice. That's just the woman.
Just a woman?
One woman leading an army.
Yeah, it really would, because you bring that up as well. It's crazy how well propaganda can work in certain situations, because there are so many women in history that did great in positions of power, but you for the past however long in the States, they wouldn't let you know that.
Yeah,
So it's now everyone's like, oh, there's no way, and it's bro, there are warlords who could stomp your ass from from back in the day.
It's not, and the thing about that is you can't. We live in a day and age of a lot of feminism, a lot of hardcore feminism, which is very unhealthy. But that's a thing that's only in the U.S. And the reason because of who was in charge made it into that kind of situation. At some point in history, we fucked around. Let's take it as gender separate. Let's take all men. It wasn't all men. It was a specific collective of men, and you know exactly the type of men I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But as a whole, men fucked around in a specific period of time with the wrong one. And I'm not even trying to be kind of funny. Some man fucked around with the wrong one, and it caused a chain reaction to where we are today. But it was fine back then for what it stood for. Now it's in a completely different terminology of toxic. I was telling Ethan about there's currently feminist scientists. There's about a group of 13 or 14 of them who are currently trying to find out how to make females as a species for human beings learn how to reproduce asexually.
Oh yes, I've heard about that. Actually,
Just so all men will be useless at that point. And every section is that not okay for the human species as a whole.
Actually, I'm firmly a believer of scientific progress.
Now here's the thing about that though. I wouldn't have an issue with human beings being able to evolve to the point where they can reproduce asexually. That is an evolutionary chain that would have eventually happened. But it's more of they're trying to force it to happen for the pettiness that is
petty.
Yeah.
But I'm a firm believer of the ends justify the means. So if these women who want to believe in their own self power so much that they want to remove the male species from their lives, progress enough in this technology that it becomes a thing, regardless of how petty it is or whatever they did it for. We now have that technology because that technology is ours.
That's very
men are going to use that technology. Female, that's just. I'm sorry, we're going to use it too.
It's kind of like with war. You know, wars aren't good, but alas,
like,
exactly.
I wouldn't remove World War II because we have computers now.
True.
Also,
right? Those big ass things that we needed, that took out entire rooms.
And a lot of medical shit.
A lot of shit happens.
Let me tell you about
bad
that.
reasons, but
and that's okay. But it's also not, because think of it like this, right? We as a species, human beings living on Earth right now, are the only forms of intelligent life that we have seen throughout the cosmos with the technology that we have right now. So far, sure. But imagine this, right? Imagine in a
you watching Family Guy?
Imagine in a reality, in this current reality that you live in, that we're all that there is, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, imagine that. The totality of how small our lifespans are on this planet compared to everything else in the universe, right? But on this planet, to fight with one another over things that we told ourselves that we find valuable.
Yeah.
Which is useless, but it's funny because it goes to a primal instinct. Because if you take a cat, for example, they like something that's shiny, right? You take a dog, they like the jingling of keys. You pique something's interest in its most primal state, of course it's going to want it. So evolutionary evolving, we evolved to like things that we find shiny or that's
just interesting,
or that's just interesting.
Yeah.
But as a collective unit with the intelligence that we have right now, living in the world that we do now, there's no need whatsoever to have to pay to go to a doctor.
That's just human.
That's human. That's human selfishness.
But I do. That's a question. That's a question, right? If you were to state right now, what would you think the perfect? Because I for one support capitalism. As I am a Republican. Not that we're going to talk about politics right now, but I support capitalism. I think adversity creates advancement. Okay. I believe that if someone struggles to get to the top, right, then to actually get to that point, they had to create something. Jeff Bezos had to create something. Fucking Elon Musk had to create something. And that generational wealth is eventually going to either A, stay right there, or B, they're going to fuck up their money. But eventually, it's going to keep.
Here's the thing about Elon, though. It's kind of hard not to advance in human society when you were born with the genomes to be able to be smarter than your average bear.
Well, I was going to say, obviously, I relate to if you like success after struggle, right? Because those are, the most inspiring stories, right? You've gone through all the struggle in your life, and yet you were able to create something beautiful from it. Elon's ass ain't struggle. His parents were like diamond miners.
That's fine. Honestly, I could not care where your background came from, but the social climb of capitalism is thus: the rich stay rich
You're correct.
unless they fuck
Unless
up
they really
massively,
fuck up, yeah.
right?
Very correct.
So to become the richest person in the world, regardless of where he started, that climb,
Oh, that's your neighbor. No, no.
oh, that climb was monumental. He is now the richest man on earth. His family.
Jeff Bezos is. I think.
No, Elon Musk.
Really?
Yeah, passed him.
I could have sworn. Oh,
Passed
when?
him. Around 2018.
Damn.
Yep, passed
Okay.
him. He's the richest man on earth now, right? So, like, to get to that point, that's a climb. That's a struggle. And to do that, he created something. SpaceX.
Okay.
Tesla.
Okay.
He now is on the point where he's implanting chips so you can things brains
forgot
so
one.
they can remotely control
You
shit.
forgot one. SpaceX, Tesla.
SpaceX, Tesla. That's
There's one more. PayPal. He made PayPal.
he sold PayPal.
Well, still, he co-founded it.
But he
I'm
doesn't
just-
have it.
Okay. I thought you were his fan. I thought you wanted to name the stuff he made.
Well, it's like this. Well, he now has Tesla. He now has Twitter, but I don't care about Twitter. So,
Okay. Yeah. Well, he didn't found that one though.
I mean, okay, so PayPal's still a thing, sure, but he's not. He doesn't mess. He's not a part of it no more. So it's not really a part of him anymore. Yeah, it's still his history, I guess.
But go on.
But yeah, and I respect, not only respect, but I feel like that's where the most advancement happens, when you have to beat everyone else down to get to where you are.
And I'm gonna tell you right there, that right in itself is counterintuitive of what everything America stands for. And
I
it's
don't
no, I'm gonna tell you right now, the land of the free bases its rules off of religious aspects, and in every religious aspect, you weren't supposed to do the things. You're not supposed to do the things that we currently do. In every aspect. That's literally religious aspects is how America works. Thou shalt not kill in every religious aspect. Murder is wrong. Thou shalt not steal. Thieving is wrong.
I just realized this is like the craziest topic that we could have transitioned to, because you're atheist, aren't you?
Yes.
And then you're like,
I'm-
and then you're a capitalist, and he's like, well, this is complete debate time, like fully
what?
opposites.
What are you, by the way?
I'm hyper religious.
Well, okay.
And
All right.
what that means is I take the aspects of every religion, and it's
To form a code?
to form a substantial form of life, because I'm an evolutionary believer as well.
All right.
Because I take the scientific laws of the world and I look at it in one aspect, and then I switch the binoculars around and look the others throughout the other side of the lens on a religious aspect.
That's fair. That's fair.
The Big Bang happened, okay, so that's let's just take Christianity for example. God created the world in 7 days.
6 days, rested on the 7th.
Correct. The Big Bang happens, okay. God says there shall be light, and thou was light.
Bang.
And bang, But I'm gonna tell you something real fast.
You gonna lay on the cord?
This fucking guy.
Yeah, it should be all right.
Kronos the cat, everybody.
Well, Kronos the cat. He steals the show each time.
Yeah. What are you?
He-
What the fuck? He like looked. Maybe there is a poltergeist. He
I
looked
told you
over.
there's a ghost in here, bro.
That was weird.
Yeah, Kronos, the ghost of Sparta.
oh, it's Kratos? Oh, shit. He coming for Gramps' ass. Hey. But the underlying reason why I feel the way I do about Elon is this, right? Elon as a person has not obviously it wasn't just him. He's had help. He's had scientists under him studying with him. But Elon as a person has spearheaded humanity as a species further than anyone else this generation. And that's just how it is. The fact that we are this much closer to actually living on other planets now, because the reason SpaceX is such a big thing is not because he created rockets. It's because he created rockets that could land. Reusable rockets.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? He is this much closer from becoming, oh, we have a rocket. Oh, we have a spaceship. Right? So that puts us, that's not just a tiptoe humanity has been making. That is a step. That is a full step. God damn, bro. What are you doing? He sees a cat out there. He sees a cat out there. We got cats out there. But that is a full step towards humanity progress as a whole. Then Tesla. Tesla really fucked the whole thing with electric cars, right? Is he started making the shit. And then he didn't for the basic shit. He didn't like hold it. He put it out there, and then he was asked why, and he was like, "Well, the point is to keep our progress on Earth as much as we can before we leave. If I hold what I have to myself, then other people won't make it. I don't need my car to be the only electric car. I need electric cars to be the car." That is something. That is another step forward. That's 2 step forwards right there that I think that he has created for humanity, period.
Really, really extremely quick cliff note. I just heard, I think Nissan, like, okay, so I'm sure you've seen everywhere, it's like a conspiracy theory that people know how to make engines with water.
Yes.
I think Nissan actually just made a car with it.
No
way.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, real quick. You want to know who actually made that first?
Ooh,
A black guy.
of course. It's always a black guy, realistically.
90 years ago. Damn. And you want to know what happened? He got killed the exact same day he went to go publish it.
Oh, yeah.
I
do
think
know
I
what
heard
you're talking
about this.
that. I feel like that happens a lot.
That does happen a lot.
They're like, nah, bro, we kind of want to keep using our gas, man. It's like, fuck
It's
you.
because if that's something that we have immediately,
Water
then
is a element in the periodic table that you cannot destroy.
well,
You can't.
technically matter cannot be created nor destroyed. But it can just change.
I think he means
right?
like
It changes
broken
form
down.
from solid, liquid, or gas. You can never destroy water. Water is the resource that you could put in a car that would have a car moving forever.
Okay, sorry. But I do want to continue what we were talking about. Like I said,
what?
Quick cliff note. Well, you were just
Yeah.
And then I wanted to go back even further than that because we're talking about capitalism.
Yep.
And like how America runs. See, capitalism as an idea, I get it, right? You want to, if you work, you get blank. But I think, as with any governmental type, I feel like there should be a degree, like a limit that you can go to. Because there's sometimes, like I'm looking at capitalism now in America, and I'm like, I think it's just been allowed to grow too much.
Too much.
America is
So-
a failed society. As a whole.
Like, did you see that? I can't remember, probably like Microsoft or something. They did a fucking drone show advertisement in the night sky of Candy Crush, and companies want there to be ads in the sky now of drones. Imagine you're like, the stars look so pretty. I gotta watch the fucking Candy Crush ad. That is some cyberpunk ass shit.
That is some 2099.
Fuck that.
That is some 2099 type shit. Obviously, I believe that there should always be some type of temperance. You know, some to check and balances.
Yeah.
Right.
Human beings can't do that.
But
No. Let me say this real quick. Human beings, by nature, don't know how to stop when they're ahead. Why do you think we have so many issues on this planet that we do? The planet is dying as a whole because people don't want to believe global warming is a thing when it's
ridiculous.
when it's thrown in your fucking face. So
That's
when this
And that's
when
how
this
Andrew Tate
planet
got arrested. Bro was like, "Hey Greta, this shit ain't real," and then his ass went to. The guy's crazy. But go on.
shit.
So when the world all of a sudden stops functioning the way you need it to in order to live and stay alive on this planet, and when it's too fucking late, and then you have Elon who's trying to put you on Mars with everything that he's got to save the fucking species, who is also a person who's telling you that global warming is a thing.
It's just, I don't get that. I still don't get that. How can you just be like,
That's not real.
nah, bro, what are you talking about? What?
Okay, it's because, and this is something I've noticed like in the past few years, it's because we still use the term global warming. We shouldn't. That's like super outdated. Climate change is more accurate because the earth heats up, but then it causes, so heat is energy, and energy moves the climates. So if there's too much energy here, it's going to push the cold front over here. So climate change is a more accurate depiction of it. But then these fucking idiots go, but it ain't getting warmer. I just had a snowstorm. And it's like, you fucking jackass. That's not how it works.
Shit. That's dumb. That's super dumb.
It's okay because I think. Okay.
They don't need to reproduce.
Very, very fast. This is hilarious. This is where I learned this to be able to learn it further. Who knows the rapper Little Dicky?
Yes.
Okay.
I fucked with him.
So, do you remember the song that he had?
We love the earth.
The whole music video.
At the very end, when he was like, "Yeah, scientists say that we have about 50 years before our world is fucked." Guess what? Check right now and see how long it's been since that song came out.
It's only been like...
It hasn't been 50 years, of course, but
yeah.
just check and see how long you got.
When did that come out? 29? No.
It was like 2018,
2018? I used to fuck with Lil Dicky. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Wait, what is the song?
Girl, stop messing with
Earth.
What are you doing? What? Go pee.
Yeah, you can run past. I mean,
Come on, mostly Ghostly.
yeah, it was 2019.
2019?
2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What year is it right now?
2023, pretty much.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
it's basically been 4 years.
Yeah. Subtract that from 50.
46.
You'll still be alive in 46 years.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
That is true.
So if scientists are saying in the next 50 years we're fucked, guess what? You're still going to be alive then. So you'll get to.
This is our problem.
Well,
That's our issue.
I will say there has been a few, not a whole, not enough, but a few things that have been pretty positive. Like the hole in the ozone layer is repairing itself.
Yes, because
about
sweet.
fucking
because
time.
where it was getting fucked up at had to get manually shut down.
I think
Like-
also us having like humans being on lockdown helped quite a bit.
Yes, it did.
Because all the animals were coming back and
Last point. The reason I don't care. The way I feel about it is this, right? Every suitable, successful man has their eccentricities. How the fuck do you say that word? Eccentricities.
eccentricities.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Every reasonable, successful person has that.
I'm gonna pretend I know how to spell that.
And for some reason, Elon really loves Twitter. Even before he bought Twitter, I
Yeah.
don't know if you know, he loves that site.
See, okay,
I mean, I can tell you why off of a up close standpoint. Think of it like this: take a person who wants to unite the world in a way where he wants the world to thrive throughout the entire universe. You take Twitter as a app that isn't like Instagram or Facebook, where only some people, everyone uses it in some form or fashion. You learn everything off Twitter. Twitter is where every major event hits first.
it's true.
You take presidents are on Twitter.
Yeah, that's his
Yeah.
his mailbox that he stands on to, because you use Facebook or Instagram, you're usually following people you know.
Right.
When you go to Twitter, that's big.
It's a
big
world.
people.
Yeah.
So when you take someone who wants to unite everybody and get an app where everyone's already united.
All right. Yeah. Well, he loves that thing, right? So the way I think of it is this: Elon, he likes Twitter. As someone who's so successful, he could literally buy anything he wants. He bought the motherfucking site. So I'm gonna say that if you want to have an $8 fee for a check mark, if you want to make it so Twitter does this or that, if he wants to press the big red button and Twitter doesn't exist tomorrow, that's okay.
I mean, it's really not, but
because Elon, you've done if we've done enough.
Yeah.
If you so
don't-
choose to continue living your life and do more for humanity,
Don't turn Twitter off, though. Don't do that.
if you so choose
There's no fucking reason for it.
to put another step,
I have a girlfriend who loves that app, bro. Like you know how badly you'd crush her heart if you turn that
Damn.
app off, bro. Don't do
he
that
has
shit.
he has that her heart in his hands now.
Boy, don't say that kind of shit.
That's why the like button is in the shape of art, because he knows how many people he has in his grasp.
But if he so chooses to make it better or make it worse, to improve on it or destroy it, whatever he so chooses to do, that's okay with me. Because Elon, he's done enough for humanity at this point where I'm like, you can have your play toys. You can have your things you want to play with.
Elon Musk companies are his play toys. He was a child dreaming of outer space. That's why he made outer space shit.
Here's my problem with him and his Twitter acquisition is so look, it's okay to not be aligned with someone else's beliefs, right? I mean, just about all 6 of us in the group have like different beliefs.
Wait, real quick. Goofy, that's not okay to pay $8 for a check mark. When the fuck?
I do think that's
optional.
it's optional.
Are you
optional.
gonna be the one who pays for the shit when our shit gets big, stupid?
Well, no.
I already paid for most of the shit. Me and him.
No, wait. You can still get verified if you are a verifiable person. The Twitter blue check mark is like the everyone laughed at this
Subscription.
nigga. Like, you bought that, but like,
Dumbass.
if you're actually relevant, you get it.
You get it anyway.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, look, you can have different alignments from someone, believe in different things. My problem is when Elon was gonna buy Twitter, he was like, I'm gonna make sure that no one can have a political grasp on this app, because everyone who, like, the people who owned it before were far left and I or something like that.
Yeah,
so
far left.
understandable. And then his ass did the exact same thing, just on the far right. That was all that changed.
Well, I haven't seen that many banning. Like,
Bro, if you make certain tweets, he just gets rid of you, and then he will tweet out. Like, imagine you're on Facebook, and Mark Zuckerberg's like, I hate black people. you're gonna keep using Facebook. This nigga will go on Twitter and like just be openly like trans or homophobic, and it's like, and I think a lot of people are like, yeah, it's because he hates his trans daughter. I'm like, oh, that's fun.
I heard that too.
And I'm just like, man, can you not just keep this to yourself?
Oh shit.
No, nigga, I look at you different. That's your hero?
Yes, bro. As I said,
I swear
he
to God,
could
I
sit-
swear to God, I only met this nigga a few years ago.
a few years ago, my ass. I know this
swear-
man since childhood. Get the fuck out
I
of here.
swear to God.
No. As I said, he could actually say, fuck Italians.
I want you all to.
This is the second time tonight he said this.
I want you all to know
listen.
that we have very different views on life. I swear to God, we do.
Let me explain. Let me explain.
You see this black and white shirt? It's to show the contrast between my
Let me explain.
these
Let
black
me
and white pants?
explain. Let me explain. Right. So I truly believe in my heart that I'm someone who believes in the advancement of humanity. Right. I want it to continue. I want it to prosper. Right. So even if Elon personally hates Jews or blacks, let's say Elon was racist, I would still.
So it took for it to be black, for it to be racist. You already said Jews. You said Italians twice.
Italians, Jews, racist,
I
whatever.
swear to God, you're finna have the mob on your ass, dog.
It doesn't matter because he's done and is still doing things to advance humanity. Like,
You're just easily putting the mob on Elon's case.
like, okay, if he hates Jews, that doesn't mean Jews can't own a Tesla. You feel me? That's still something that humanity is.
No. You respecting what he's done is one thing, but sometimes you got to get his balls out your mouth. Is all I'm saying.
bro.
You got
SpaceX's.
If you're gonna acknowledge his good things, you got to acknowledge his bad
You
things.
got
I'm not saying-
SpaceX's asteroid
I'm not
so up
saying
your ass.
I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm saying that so far.
Very far from it.
I'm saying that so far he is leading humanity's footprint to the next age, and so because of that, I respect him as a person. He could hate my entire speech. He could hate me, He could, and I would still respect him
We're gonna
because
see.
He's the only genius of his caliber who actually gives a fuck about
About
doing
anything.
other.
Yeah, that I was gonna say. At least compared to other rich people, like you look at Jeff Bezos, his ass ain't doing
he
nothing.
ain't doing shit nowadays.
Nothing. And then like Bill Gates, kind of he does like charity work and stuff, and he still makes new Microsoft makes new technology, like computers and shit. So sure. YouTubers
help the common people more than actual political figures in this world do.
It's true, especially like in the States, bro. I don't trust any politicians, bro.
Jacksepticeye, if you ever see
Yeah.
this, what's he again?
He's Irish. He's Irish.
You're Irish. You live in the U.S. and he like donated like $1 billion to charity in the U.S.
Dude,
Like,
Jack
Markiplier too. Don't forget Mark.
I'm
and
not
then, like-
about to forget Mark. He just made a whole OnlyFans for charity. Like,
yeah. Did you see that?
Absolutely. I didn't subscribe to the OnlyFans.
I'm not saying.
Yes.
I've
But
already
I've
saw
five posts.
I don't know.
I'm not subscribed to the OnlyFans, but yeah, he was doing his thing for his mom. His mom did a documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, those are like genuine good people. I heard
Absolutely.
one time there was this clip. He was with Joe Pagetta, whatever his name is from Smosh.
Anthony Padilla.
Anthony Padilla,
Bro said
whatever.
Joe.
Right?
Like, I just wanted him to try and fix it, but
I saw this clip and he was like, you know, there's a meme out there of me crying, and he was like, and Joe.
We talked about this in episode 2, funnily enough.
Oh yeah. He was like, why? He was like, well, because he realized that he will never be able to actually have a personal connection with any of these people that his lives he's changed.
I remember that he got like so hurt.
Yeah.
But I understand what he meant in that moment.
Absolutely.
Because it's like, well, you won't be able to just go out of your way to just go down the street and be like, hey, what's good,
Tommy!
everybody?
There's
Because you'll
some-
have hella people on your case.
Like, imagine we get big. There's someone who could be like, absolute like I've watched you guys for years. You're my comfort like creators, because if it weren't for you, I'd be in an extremely dark place, right? And you imagine it in a real world perspective, right? Not even like as a comment section. You're like it's us on a stage, and someone so badly wants to say that, and they never could because there's a million other people.
Exactly.
Yeah, that shit's gonna hurt.
It
And
sucks.
then it's like, if you actually do hear the person, exactly how much care can you put into that one person when you have a billion,
100,000 other people trying to get your attention.
trying to do the exact same thing.
All you can really do is just be like, I'm
Thank
glad.
you.
I'm glad I could help.
That's
But
the superhero complex of I can't save everybody.
yeah,
For real.
and that's very unfortunate, but it's very true.
But yes, that is why all my points have been said. That is why I fucks with Elon. So I don't care about him using Twitter or abusing Twitter. I don't care about him declaring that Twitter is only for the Jews. I don't care if he says he hates America.
Well, I mean, I kind of hate America, and I'm American.
Yeah, I think a lot of
everyone
Americans-
who is American hates America. Like,
the further left you go, the more you hate America. I feel like, which okay,
I'm a proper red, white, and blue speckled banner.
I was
black.
gonna
swear
ask.
to God, I only met him a few years ago.
Bullshit.
So you said you're Republican. How far right would you say you lean? How conservative are you?
I'm pretty
he was,
conservative.
he was fucking with
wow.
Trump when he was doing the heinous shit too.
Were you really?
Calm down. Calm
Oh,
down.
no.
Even Republicans didn't always fuck with Trump. So let's let's calm down here.
I can't be mad at him for being Republican, and I'm in a Democratic office of mindset off of how Democrats have been basically viewed as like the better side of diplomacy in
They're more charitable.
in the U.S. But you want to know who started slavery?
Democrats.
Yeah, because
Do
there
you
was
know
the
one
the switch.
abolished slavery?
The
Republicans.
Yeah, because then they had the great. What is it called in history? The switch that they had.
It's fun. It's funny how you niggas decided to just switch around how y'all act.
But it was weird. One day there was like, hey, you know what? Let me try this. I want to give this a shot.
Someone as a Democrat, don't hit the red button.
Controversial. Let's be a little controversial. You asked me how far right I am. I'm gonna say I'm not all right. You know, not all the way there. You know, I'm not leaning.
He's about to say fuck Jews.
But no.
Anyway, so Italians.
I will say though, I am far enough where when there was the whole
Say something heinous, please.
yeah, I was about to say something heinous. When there was the whole make it so across the states, all everywhere, gay marriage was allowed.
Zach, bro, come on.
Here's
now.
let me explain.
Okay, elaborate.
I'm not against the gays
Okay.
or anyone in the LGBTQ community. Well, I'll be honest. I don't know about the 106 genders and shit. I don't know about that. That's a little stupid to me. I'm sorry.
Real quick.
We're not posting this on TikTok.
Wait, real quick.
We're not posting this on TikTok.
You saying that reminds me of I don't even remember where the conversation started, but it was like a messenger conversation that everyone was having, and I remember Chris just being like, "How can you blame everything on niggas when there's 106 genders? It ain't just us." That shit had me cackling for like an hour, bro.
But let me explain, all right? Let me explain So the whole point of being conservative, our whole party's movement, is we don't like it when the government, the federal government, makes decisions that blankets everything. We want each state to have as much sovereignty as it can. So regardless of what it is, we don't want any new shit. If all 50 states decided, hey,
On their
we
own.
want all of us to be able to marry all of us, clap, clap, that's fine. I don't have a problem with gay people marrying. As a conservative, though, because we have something like where if something's happened before, it can happen again, especially like in law, right? You know how when someone will go to court and they will look up upon previous things that happened like this.
Yeah.
Right? That's why Roe v. Wade had to be overturned, because it set a precedent. Right? So if it can happen once, it happens again, and now gives the government, the federal government, that power to do so with what it has. We don't like that. If we all just decided kumbaya and we all want to marry one another, let's do that, each within our sovereign states. That's it. I don't have a problem with you being gay. I don't have a problem with you being trans.
I guess
I don't have a problem with you being lesbian. I just don't like it when
But
you
he
want
does
to.
have, he does have an issue with you being a tree, though.
Yeah. I feel like if you're a fire truck, we need to have a talk.
Yeah, I ain't fucking
know?
with those fern trees.
I don't know.
Turn your ass into a motherfucking home decoration real quick.
And I can. Oh, bro, we're planning a target on our backs.
Hey, look, that's mostly them.
Did you know there
Don't
was
say them, nigga. I said one thing and you're gonna.
Did you know there was such a thing as neo pronouns?
I think I've heard of it. I don't know what it is.
Neo pronouns mean you make shit up. That's not how it is. I'm not paraphrasing. That's what it is. There's a nigga out there that's like, I like I'm not really he him. I prefer them.
We're getting shadow banned again, aren't we?
Ooh.
What does that mean? No, you look at me right now. What does that mean?
No, I agree with you. Like,
What does that mean, Chris?
Look,
Chris, what does them means? What is that?
I'm more concerned that you just said my actual name on camera. Like, it's...
Come on, nigga. They know your name. Wait, do they know your name?
No,
they know.
It might have.
they didn't.
It might have slipped.
My whole
somewhere.
fucking persona, nigga.
Oh, damn.
God, I'm trying to be mysterious, bro. I'm over here dressed in all black and shit, bro.
I will say I'm very, because the one thing, main problem I have with conservatives, and this is my own personal fault, because it's not all conservatives, but most conservatives didn't like as to go along with your example, didn't want the sovereignty because they didn't like gay people, right? I feel like more often than not, people
There's
on
a
the
lot of conservatives
right,
that don't like gay people.
more often the further right you go, the more insert race supremacy you get towards and all that shit, and I don't fucks with that. I feel like you don't get that as much in the left. In the left, you get the opposite though, which I also don't fucks with, where it's like neo pronouns, and if you like, look, if I walk up to you and you look like a guy, and I say, "What's up, sir?" and you're like,
Whoa.
wrong. If you
Whoa, did you just?
Yeah, if you start trying to swing on me,
gender.
That's
look,
too much.
give
bro,
me a
you know.
chance.
That's too much.
If you tell me, I'll try, but don't just go swinging on me. Like
Oh my god, no offense to my trans friends.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
have quite a few. I still like you guys. Like I respect your
how many people here knew that I was a woman?
this entire time. I don't had that vibe.
What is that supposed to mean? I was joking, nigga.
But I don't know, man. I just feel like it's not for me. I feel like you're taking it a bit too far. Maybe, you know. But that's just me, I guess.
I think it's something like I was actually going to talk about it earlier when we were talking about like women's rights and stuff in America. I think it's just if you oppress people, then they get extreme. That's why this shit doesn't exist everywhere, because not everywhere had to deal with it. I feel like only because of like slavery and shit did we ever have riots. We wouldn't need that if it wasn't that bad. Only because we were like, women can't do shit, that we have people that are so far feminine that it's like crazy.
What do we need men for?
I can't even say that, because everywhere else, women have stayed the same ever since women and men in different countries have existed in them countries to begin with. It's only because of how the U.S. tried to portray itself with, freedom of speech, land of the free, the whole preservative of what it's trying to make himself be known. Okay, so because I'm a woman, then I have the freedom of speech to be free in how I want to live life. And then men, and again, you know exactly what type of men I'm talking about that was around in that type of period, were like, no. See,
know?
Man.
I'll tell you one thing: they weren't black. I'll tell.
Hey, I'm reading the fine print here, and it's not. You can't do only. It's a white guy free speech. You're misunderstanding. You're misunderstanding.
Because black men and women were so united back then, off of slavery and everything else. This country, high key hoed how everywhere that isn't a white couple or a white household, marriage, livelihood, everywhere else is hoed. Everywhere. If you live if you're from this country, you're fucked if you're not white.
I do. It's like when you look back in our history, we don't have a lot of like badass women from America, or like who
outside of trying to get their freedom.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
Did you know that in Europe, I might have told you guys this before. I think she was around the Spanish. But there was this lady who was married to a pirate.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
bro. There was a lady who was married to a pirate. The pirate man died, and she took control of his crew because she was the only one who was learned enough to handle the books and shit. Mm-hmm. She took control of his crew. She was such a terror around Spain. I think it's around Spain. She was such a terror around Spain around that time that they said, "We give. Stop, please." They gave her a noble title, bro, to sit her ass down and retire.
Yeah.
Do you know how badass you have to be for a country?
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Just be like, okay.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Basically, single-handedly.
This world was basically a men's playground, but when a girl decided to join in, she joined in very hard.
Yes.
For every woman who has ever joined in this fight of the world, when it came to being rough on the playground, they were not holding back punches or nothing of the sort.
Nah.
That's why in this country, it's hilarious how much feminism is a thing, because the average guy doesn't want to oppress a woman in any kind of way.
Not anymore. Not
I'm
anymore.
saying-
That's not what we're trying to do.
Again, it wasn't even a black. It was not a black thing.
Look.
It was not a Hispanic thing.
Yeah.
Asian thing, maybe. I'm sorry, I can't really protect you niggas.
We might have said a lot of controversial things on this podcast, but if there's one thing I could say with certainty,
We love women.
we respect
love
women.
We love
Come on
women.
now.
Women are
mine is
amazing.
right there, bro. Like,
Yeah, we have like a literal special like live audience right now.
you're
with
not
us.
allowed to see her though. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
I'm not sorry.
We respect our privacy here.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. It is kind of when you look and see how much hate some of them have for us.
Not even hate. It's the biggest loathing.
It really is.
It's loathing.
Just being born.
That you being a man as a species, as a whole category.
Did you see that video?
How there was a woman who decided to dress as a man for 2 months.
Oh.
She lived as a man. She
don't think I know this
dressed,
one.
talked, ate, and worked as a man.
She wanted to prove that how much easier it was to live as a man
No,
than a woman.
as a woman. That woman, after those 2 months, wrote an entire book, and she
killed herself. She committed suicide
because she couldn't
wasn't
hang.
used to how men are treated.
Damn.
She couldn't hang.
Because we are used to it, right? Like when men are complimented by like women, right? We take it to heart.
Hell yeah, you take it to, you feel yourself in a whole different level because I bet you just got done being called ugly like an hour ago.
Bro, we get like 4 compliments a year. And that's
If
generous.
that.
That's generous.
If that. And you know, it's that's also the reason why male friendships are so strong, right? Like when and to the point where it's
and
like
how terrible it is when a male friendship gets splitting up over a girl.
right. It's truly horrible.
I just have like 6 topics I could go into from this, but keep going.
Yeah. But it's crazy. How we are treated like as men. I saw this video of a feminist woman. I'm sorry, feminazi woman. I feel like there are feminist women, and I feel like there's feminazi women. Okay? I saw this video of a feminazi who recorded her like 5-year-old son, and she was like, I have to raise this man, this being who's going to turn into a man, and he has a high chance of being a rapist. What?
That's ridiculous.
Don't say that about your own son just 'cause you
What?
do.
Why would you say that?
That's high key ridiculous. Oh, why is it? But here's the thing. Why is it high chance? Because he's a man. Like there aren't female rapists.
Yeah. Like,
right.
People tend to forget those kinds of things because men don't talk about it. You know why? Because the whole you're a man, suck it up.
yeah.
Suck it up.
You're a man. How'd you even let that happen to you to begin with? Oh, you're a man. You knew that shit felt good. Stop lying.
Yeah. You know, come on, don't act like you didn't enjoy it. Type
So
shit.
when someone,
really?
So when you then go and then try and talk to that man that you keep on saying suck it up to, and he's the most heinous being on this planet.
And
Don't say anything.
and it's not just like
Yes, you still say something about that too.
I thought I saw this. And that's not just with like blatant sexual assault. I'm gonna get a little serious. When I was a youngin, I was like continuously over. I won't go into depth. I'm just going to say.
I was about to say if you were gonna go, I mean, I might as well have.
Well, we should
yeah,
save
I
it for
actually
another
didn't
episode
tell
because you gotta go soon, and I don't want to keep you here too long.
Yeah.
When I was younger, for like over the course of like multiple years, I was molested by 2 girls, and because of how people act towards guys with stuff like that, I grew up being like, I kind of lost my virginity already. I already had sex. And then I didn't realize until I was like, probably not really until I was about 18, 19 when I was in my first relationship. I sat down, I thought back to it, and I was like, I couldn't see it while it was happening, but that fucked my life up in so many ways, but I could never, my mom doesn't know to this day. I couldn't tell her that. There's so many ways that fucked up my life, and I could not realize it until it was too late. And that's because they don't, like, you know, they're like, what do you mean? That's great. that happened to you. You got to have sex.
What,
Isn't that
men
awesome?
can't be raped.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
You
Like,
had sex and you're complaining about it? Are you serious?
You're the man.
Yeah,
No,
like oh bro, dap me up. Yeah, sex. You got molested.
It's different. It's because a lot of men try and say, "Hey, bro, lucky you," all kinds of shit. But that's because you, as a man who have been raised as a man, have come to the standard that, oh, if a nigga has fucked a female or got fucked by a female, oh, then
That's always a good thing.
That's
Yeah.
always a good thing. No, it's not.
No.
It's not good at all. Again, I won't get too deep into my shit. I'll do that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
I'm be honest. I'm not gonna sit here and say that as a man I feel like that everything is against me. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I can recognize.
The vast majority of things are though.
I can recognize that, just like being a man, I've been raised the way I am, and so it's gotten to the point where we're used to it, and that's fucked up to say. That is fucked up to say, cause I sit here and I'm content.
It's not
And
even.
I bet a lot of men are just content with their lives and happy with their lives, and something like that can and would continue to happen to them. Because what are you gonna do, bro? Are you gonna sit here and cry? Who is gonna listen to you cry?
Here's the thing, though. It's not even just being used to it. You are born, bred, and raised to have no choice but to be used to it.
Yeah.
Anything, even especially in this day and age, God help. I'm gonna give you 4 statistics real quick that I told Ethan yesterday. 76% of men have now been found to be alone and dying alone since 80 years ago. 32% of men have committed more suicides than women have in, I think it was 97 years. There's a lot more successful, wealthy men giving all their wealth away to someone who's on the street, who's a man, because they can't get with a woman or refuse to because of how women in this type of day and age act. Not all women. Let me point that out.
Yeah.
This isn't about trashing women. That's not what we're doing.
Because we just got done talking about how much
We love women.
Absolutely.
Very much.
It's just as with any group of people, you have your bad.
You
people.
have
Bad with the good.
It's not even. It's a vast majority that's so. I fear for what the human species will look like in the next 20 years for the U.S. again, for the U.S. because it just doesn't. This kind of shit doesn't happen everywhere else. It just doesn't. Everywhere else doesn't have this issue that we got. I fear for what I couldn't bring a child into this planet right now. There's no way.
Fuck that.
What am I gonna teach him?
Yeah.
I can't. There's nothing if I had a son. There's nothing I would be able to teach him right now that wouldn't get him hoed
Absolutely.
by another man or by a woman.
Yeah, you're okay to show your feelings. I showed my feelings, got my ass whooped. like, no, you can't.
Did you
do
guys
anything.
hear about the statistic where wives or girlfriends were asked, and it was like, if your girl or if your woman or if your wife sees you cry, she then holds less respect for you.
I think I did hear something.
And
like
and of course there's always like the genuine ones where like, of course I would hold the same respect, and there are those out there, but it's to the point where I'm not talking about the genuines. I'm talking about the vast majority in that statistic that actually held less respect for that man for showing his feelings, and that's why.
And then we'll turn around.
That's why we don't.
And then turn around and ask the question why men don't talk about.
Why
this.
don't we open up? And
I literally saw a tweet from a girl being like, yeah, I got with this really hot guy and we were together for like a few weeks, and then he cried because like his mom died or something, and she was like immediately was turned off and broke up with him. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That is like so unbelievably heartless.
Now,
it's terrible.
I will say this: while it's not right, I do believe that wholeheartedly that it's not right that we are raised the way we are. Unfortunately, I do think it's necessary.
It's
Because
At least
I don't
in this country,
yeah,
absolutely.
If we were in a perfect world where we could talk, explain, and go through our feelings emotionally without being looked down upon, then I would teach my son, my future son, hey, it's okay to cry in front of her, but right now it's not. So it pains me to say,
but that's also the wrong answer too.
There's no good one.
There's no
It
good
pains
one.
me to say that I will still have to teach my son, hey, you gotta man up, because that's going to happen to you.
I'd have to teach my kid, hey, suck it up until you can't.
Until you're in privacy of your own space.
If you can't do it away from people. And if someone,
that's horrible. That's horrible that I'm forced to teach him.
Unless you went throughout the entire totality of time to be able to 100% trust that you believe that you could be able to cry in front of somebody else, and even then still don't do it because you'll never 100% know until it happens.
And well, because even if there's someone you feel comfortable crying in front of, like someone you're really comfortable being emotional towards, especially like at the age we're at now, it's so hard for me to even cry sometimes because my body is conditioned to be like, don't ever do that shit.
Don't do
it's
it,
like that's
period.
so fucked. But to end on because we only got like 30 minutes, so we do got to kind of get going.
Yeah.
I will say I feel like, at least personally, I don't talk to a lot of people, but I feel like more people are noticing that trend, and I feel like more people are trying to be aware of it. More women are trying to be like, no, like legitimately let people open up. You know, don't be doing this shit. Of course, how quickly that'll move, if it'll move, I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
Think about it, right? And think about the way females are trying to live their livelihoods, which I won't go out of my way to bash. Shorty, get your bag.
Do your thing.
Get your racks up. That's cool.
Yeah.
But when you stop caring about everything and everybody around you, and for the sake of being able to get said bag, and then you wonder why the fuck you're alone when you're at 40, and then like you see everyone else, all your other friends are with somebody, don't say shit.
I told him the same exact thing on why I think family is the most important. I feel like after if you decide, and I'm not gonna sit here and trash your lifestyle. If you decide that you want to focus on your business or on your career or whatever right now, that's fine and that's okay. But I feel like there's a point where you not have to, but should put that aside for a bit. Because when you have all your money and your riches,
Exactly.
when you have your many houses and your mansions, when you have your cars and you have your Gucci bags, when you can stunt on your girlfriends,
where your heart at?
What happens when you're 80 and that Gucci bag doesn't look good on your flabby skin no more?
What happens
when those wigs don't cover up the
what
wrinkles?
happens when you're laying on your hospital bed and there's no one around it?
But you can pay for those hospital bills.
But the hospital bed will look good.
But
Yeah, the hospital
you're gonna have a
bill
whole
look great.
room to yourself. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be luxurious. But you gonna be by yourself. What's the point of that big ass room if there's nobody in it?
That's true.
Now, I'm not saying go out your way to have everyone be around you, because there are snakes in the grass. You wouldn't be able
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
Choose wisely.
who have two heads
And
when you think you cut off the one.
and mind you, like, as someone who, as of right now, doesn't want to have kids, I agree. Like, cultivate legitimate, deep connections, and that's what, like, an example of where capitalism fucks up sometimes is because so many people are so obsessed with that bag, they don't care about others, and that's a problem. That's a problem.
It's a high key problem.
Like, you know, I want systems to take off. I would love for it to go to the farthest heights it could, but I wouldn't want to lose like Leon or Jontez over it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think it's very important to cultivate connections and be okay with loving people. You don't have to be alone. You don't have to do things just for
Facts.
money. It's
because
all right.
like
Enjoy the small
again,
times. the little
again,
ones.
like throughout the years, I'm not. Again, you can't see her because you're not going to. I thought you had a friend, didn't you? But this one over here, this one is my life. Real shit. We can get as high as we can. Real talk. y'all are my bros for real. I've known y'all since we were children. On playground sets, bro. Real
We
talk.
lads.
Shit. Nigga, I'm the one who came up with the name.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, one day we'll have to actually talk about like the origin of some of this shit.
Origin of systems.
Because no one really. Well, I guess some people might be able to guess, but most people probably don't know what the name is.
Why it is what it is.
Certain like teasers and where they came from and all that shit. I would love to do a deep dive on the creation of systems one day. That could honestly be its own video, but
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
But yeah, like it's like, bro, I will never let systems become a brand. I'm not gonna do that. It's a movement. It's a lifestyle that I want all of us to be able to get in. That's why I made it and had all of you be with me with it.
We're not soulless.
Like, exactly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ever want this to get so big that it blows this up along with it. I don't got the time for that because life's too short.
Facts.
Life is too short. I could get a whole Lamborghini. I have a mansion, everything, this, that, and the third. But then it's like, damn, when was the last time I called Tobias for real and said happy birthday to him?
Yeah.
Like, damn, when was the last time we actually all went out to eat?
Listen,
I feel like.
Damn,
I'm
how
sorry.
long have I been out of town? I actually haven't been home with my girl.
Yeah. I feel like what I would really mostly want systems to be is to be something that can support us enough that I can live my life.
Yeah.
I don't want to be sitting down, all right, so I'm looking at this chart and I noticed that
you're not funny enough.
Quarter 4 didn't work out. Stanley, we're going to need to move you to this sec. Like, I don't want none of that shit. I want to be able to have enough that we can afford to do shit together even outside of this. Because right now, I live in, like, constant anxiety about, like, my finances and all this shit where I'm just like, if it's not making me money, I can't do it. I have so much trouble, like, having fun. That's why I haven't made a video in, like, almost a year. Because, like, on my channel, I mean. Because I'm like, it's not doing anything for me. Thank you. I'm like, it's not doing anything for me except for, but, like, it's fun, but...
It's not paying my bills.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm 20, I just realized this is right in the middle of my face on the camera. That is rough. That is really rough. But
Wow.
that's all right. Whatever. No one needs to see it right now. It's a mostly audio-based thing anyways.
Yeah.
But, you know, I would love for us to be able to live, like, have this help us just live comfortably. Where we can do shit as friends. Because, like, lately, even, like, with Leon and Jontez, I haven't hung out with them in a while. And, like, when I do, it's such a sparse occasion now. Because I'm like, I'm sorry, I just have to do something. Like, I need to... I'm kind of in the situation of being obsessed with the bag. And it worries me because I'm like, I don't want that to fuck shit up. But I also don't want to be a deadbeat at, like, 25. We were actually talking about it in the car.
Yeah. Literally.
Like, on the way here, we were talking about it, so... It's rough.
Because, like... The thing about getting to never will I ever say don't get to the bag.
You gotta support yourself.
Chase the bag with your mind, not your heart.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
I have been told recently that a saying that when you are so fixated on something that you're having your livelihood be fucked up, it's because you're so mentally focused that you living right now, your brain will always be in control of your heart to where your heart won't be able to be in control of anything else. You're thinking harder than you feel.
Yeah.
It would be lovely to spend Christmas with my wife, but I have to go to the company event.
Gotta go to work.
Yeah, sorry, honey. I know you haven't seen me in 2 weeks, but this business trip is very important. I don't know what
I'm
to say.
sorry, I'm gonna miss your birthday, Samantha.
And now you have everything else. Like, oh, is he really at work or is he with somebody else?
Oh, wait.
You come home. I don't really want to do anything. Now your wife has less feelings for you, and now you're wondering why.
We're going through that divorce.
You can't go to work and complain. You know why? Because you got to chase the bag. Because if you don't, you're broke.
Wait a minute. You had our child while we were gone?
What happened?
I forgot you were pregnant.
But moral of the story is, if you decide to, you can have the choice of doing everything alone. All right, you can be the singular cog that pushes the wheel. But I'm gonna tell you right now, the reason why there's always multiple cogs and gears in each and every machine is because they depend on one another. They have to be structurally sound. They have to be with you. They have to be close. You have to be able to lean and push and pull on one another, right? So, cogs and gears, at the end of the day, don't try to do it all by yourself. You're causing more problems for your health, yourself, and your family than you need it to be. Depend on one another. Find those people you can depend on to actually depend on them, and live a life that has meaning. At the end of it, when you're at the deathbed, make sure you have someone there holding your hand.
And with that, guys, we're gonna have to bring it to a close. Make sure that you, just like we are saying, continue to spin around inside of whatever mechanism you need coherently. Make sure that everyone around you use that as your oil to keep moving.
Because only through that will the systems of the world change.
Yep.
We're all just cogs in the system.
All right.
Peace!
That was
Ooh!
beautiful. The fact that you even segued it into the cogs and gears, I didn't see that coming. That was perfect.
Oh, yeah, that was
beautiful.
nice. That was nice, wasn't it? Yeah.